Why did Dave Filoni make so many changes to the Clone Wars Bad Batch story arc? Well, I hope to answer that in this video, so let's get right into it.
The Bad Batch episodes, we had previously released them in an animatic form, so a lot of the work had been done, a lot of the groundwork had been laid out. It was also a way to do an episode arc that was very true to what Clone Wars was. We still improved the models, the assets, redid some things. We made the story better, so if you're familiar with the story already, which some people may be, you'll notice that while it's very similar, we did a tighter edit of it, we added some new scenes, we took some scenes out.
And in this first clip, it's great to hear Dave Filoni address one of the bigger controversies of these first 4 episodes, and that is adding and removing certain scenes from these 4 episodes. And it's nice to hear directly from him that he made these changes because he wanted to make this story better for all of us fans. But let's skip to the next clip.
The Bad Batch episodes, it wasn't one of the last 12 episodes, but now it is. And so that changed the way that I had to orchestrate the story somewhat. For example, in these 12 episodes, there was not a single scene with Padme in it. And it goes without saying she's an important part of the prequel trilogy. And while my job in Clone Wars was never really to tell her story, George did that, or Anakin's, I do have a job to tell how the other characters relate to those characters. I personally felt it was a little bit lousy that Padme didn't have a voice in the episodes, in any of the 12 episodes. Also, Kat Tabor, had been working on the series for a long time, and she was sad that she wasn't going to get to be a part of the show. So I wrote a scene that had Padme in it, and that scene then gives you context for how Anakin thinks of her, that he relies on her, that he regards her opinion very highly, that she knows him, that she knows Rex. And it became an important scene, and it alludes to certain timelines in Revenge of the Sith.
And I know a lot of people were upset that the nose art scene was deleted and that this was inserted, but I think overall this is the better scene, Anakin and Padme. It builds truly on their relationship and helps this episode connect with the Revenge of the Sith that much more because we see a pregnant Padme.
Obi-Wan's not dumb. He knows Anakin's in love with this woman. I don't think he ever understands that they got married. I don't think he thinks Anakin took it that far. I mean, even Obi-Wan was in love with someone. That's not abnormal, it's very normal. What you choose to do and how you choose to have a relationship, what you sacrifice, then that becomes a bigger deal when he's made an oath to the Jedi Order to be selfless, to put everyone else ahead of himself. And he never thinks the two of them would do something so drastic, but it dawns on him over time that they have. I think for Rex, you have to think about it. He has all these brothers. They're all individuals, but they're all very similar. He's lost so many people over the course of this war. So I think the idea, the notion that Echo could be alive is a very powerful thing for Rex. And he would want to do something. If there's any chance he was alive, he would do something. We added that scene in the beginning, which shows him looking at Heavy and Fives and all of the kind of more significant named clones that people know that he lost. So again, it helps give you context for why is this so important? Well, it's a friend of his.
And one of the things that I absolutely love about this story arc is that it shows us how Rex is able to go find Echo, his lost brother, bring him back, but then he is selfless as a Jedi and he's willing to let him join the Bad Batch. He doesn't try and protect him, he doesn't try and control them, he's simply able to let Echo go. Now in this next episode 3 clip, Dave Filoni goes into some detail telling us why he wanted the Bad Batch and the regular clones to have some sort of conflict. And the funny thing is that even though he's talking about episode 3, we see that mostly in episode 4 when the Bad Batch are consistently questioning Echo.
The Bad Batch are a bunch of weirdos. They're different, they're unique. So they're a bit cocky and they're a bit brash. It's why in some ways they're so good. The regular clones who like to do things a little more by the book butt up against that. But at the end of the day, if there's a bunch of battle droids blasting at them, they're all gonna get along and find common purpose. Such is what happens on any kind of team situation. You don't always have to get along with everybody on the team, but we all know we're trying to win the same game. We're trying to achieve the same goal. And so we played them like that. And it's fun. And it's more fun to watch people earn each other's respect than it is just automatically there. Echo joins him because Echo's also now a weirdo. I mean, is there a nicer way to put it? He's half droid, half clone. What an enigma in the Clone War. So in some ways, it's probably hard for the regular clones to accept him. Rex gets his friend back, but I think he knows he fits in well with these other clones who are also unique. And he values his friend's uniqueness. He thinks it's something great and that he can go on and do great things and he shouldn't feel tied to him just because they're friends. And so he lets him go and he suggests he goes, because he cares about his friend. So I think it's a nice moment, and it becomes a matter of progression for Echo, that he's elevated to this squad of elite clones coming from the near-death state that he was at, that he can ascend to this moment, that he's supported by Rex. So hopefully that's a nice story for people. Each story arc in the last 12 episodes gives you an important piece of the end of the war. The clones' perspective, Ahsoka's perspective, and then the finale, which brings both of those two together.
So hopefully that helps you understand why Dave Filoni has made some of these changes, because the Bad Batch arc is Rex's story, this next story arc is going to be Ahsoka's, and then those two characters come together to end this epic Season 7. Dave Filoni has also recently come out and given us some hints about the Clone Wars Season 7, and I'll have my video covering that here on the end screen. So check it out if you're interested, and as always, I'm Mike, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.